Hello everybody and welcome to this amazing game of Dead by Daylight. Today the new killer and survivor have been released in the PTB on PC in the new chapter called Shattered Bloodlines. There are a lot of updates on this PTB in regards to the patch that came along with it, but in this video we'll be looking over the new killer and survivor's perks, power, and Mori. Our new killer is the Spirit. She is seemingly similar to that of a normal killer in the sense she has baseline stats in terms of speed. The speed does not seem to be less than 115%, but that was not measured exactly as there might be slight differences. It's possible to be 110%, but from the way that we were playing, it seemed like she was just your average killer. The Spirit's power is Yamoka's Haunting. This power actually has two effects. First, a hidden passive that allows the Spirit to phase randomly, causing her to move in an interesting and terrifying manner. The phasing itself doesn't really do anything, but it does cause a visual effect that can make it hard to read the Spirit's movements properly as a survivor. Yamoka's Haunting's main effect is to charge into a phase walk that causes the Spirit to move faster. During a phase walk, she is not capable of seeing survivors, however she can still see scratch marks. Blood that was previously on the floor will be highlighted, but new blood will not appear without an add-on that helps you track the survivor in that manner. Phase walking does not change what the Spirit can interact with though. She still collides into physical objects as she moves around. This can be used to detect survivors if you can't seemingly move forward in a certain location, as the survivor actually might be standing in your way. While phase walking, you also leave a husk behind. This husk carries your heartbeat terror radius, and it stands still, pretty much giving the illusion that you're there. But while phase walking, you'll be given what's called a ghost radius, or that's what I call it, which gives a haunting wind sound effect when you are near survivors, alerting them that you are there. This radius is relatively hard to hear, but can help you surprise survivors by sneaking up on them from a distance. The power itself is fairly good at playing mind games around corners and pallets, but the ability to predict where the survivor will be can be very difficult as you are running blind. Survivors can of course sneak away as long as they don't run leaving scratch marks. You can attack directly out of this mode as well, so if you wish to do a surprise attack it is very possible. You're just risking making a whiff and unfortunately having to recover from that. There is no recovery when coming out, and you do maintain a speed boost after you reveal yourself. It's important to note that you can also be stunned while in this mode. Pallets can be dropped on you if they know where you're at, and you will be taken out of your phase shifting. You can also not walk through dropped pallets or vault windows. This power has a meter that must be completely filled before you can actually use your power. When using the power, it drains this meter. The more meter you use, the longer it takes to recharge for its next use. So if you use all of it, you have to wait till it fully recharges to be able to go back into phase walking. It'll be important to keep it in short bursts if you intend to use it in quick succession, but even then it does drain pretty quickly, so you can't go all that far without add-ons. The perks are as follows. Hex Haunted Ground spawns 2 hex totems. When either of these totems are cleansed, all survivors are exposed for 60 seconds. Rancor is an obsession perk. Each time a generator is completed, the obsession sees the killer for 3 seconds. The killer also sees every survivor for 3 seconds. When all generators are completed, the obsession becomes exposed and may be killed in the similar fashion of a Mori, regardless if they've been hooked. And finally, we have Spirit Fury. Every time the killer breaks 2 pallets, the next pallet that would stun the killer is then instantly broken. The killer overall is what I would call a gimmick killer. These perks are essentially great potential behind good combo builds for fun, but don't hold a lot of power on their own. The fun factor here is that the Spirit has the potential to open up those unique builds and make new perk combinations. However, with this being said, the killer would take some time to get used to, as her power is more difficult to use properly than the nurse. The results may vary and can be very frustrating if the survivors know how to play the scratch mark game, but if you're on your toes, you can be devastating in chase as you play the ultimate mind game where neither killer or survivor can see each other. Adam Francis joins the team of survivors as the benevolent teacher. Honestly, I'm most surprised with some of the potential his perks actually have. So we'll start with the lower one that I believe, which will be Diversion. After being within the terror radius of the killer for 45 seconds, you may activate this perk. Simply crouch and press the same button you would for Dead Hard. When you do this, you'll create a noise marker for the killer similar to if you were to miss a skill check. This will occur in the direction in which you throw the rock, but unfortunately, the marker seemed to be a little high when I was playing killer. When this was used against me, it was easy to tell it was a fake, but a good distraction nonetheless. Next, we have Deliverance. After performing a safe rescue from the hook, you activate this perk. When you are hooked, you have a 100% chance to struggle free. When you do, you'll be afflicted with the new effect called Broken. Broken prevents you from being healed, similar to No Mither, and this will occur for approximately a minute. After the minute passes, you may then heal like a normal survivor. And finally, my favorite new perk, Autodidact. Autodidact causes healing skill checks to cause a penalty of negative 20% in your progression. Each time you hit a skill check, though, you gain a token which provides 20% bonus skill check progression, up to 5 stacks. Essentially, at max stacks, you'll fill that heal bar by 80% with a single skill check. This can provide near instant heals as long as you're lucky enough to get the skill checks. Then let's go ahead and wrap this whole review up with the killer's Mori. And that is all in regards to new killer and survivor. If you like what you saw here, feel free to hit that subscribe button, as we'll have a new video out tomorrow regarding all of the patch notes and going more in depth about any questions that might come up in this video. If you have any questions regarding the new survivor or killer, feel free to ask down below. Additionally, there's things like the new Wraith buff, map changes, and mechanic changes that occurred in-game, so there's quite a drastic change, plus the new map. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, good game.